I'm Cameron Rousseau. I'm a tower crane operator, and currently home is Salem, Oregon, and I've been out here in LeGrand for 11 months building this hospital. So a lot of crane work is all done through the unions, and they're all over the country. Just like any other union, you join up and you go through an apprenticeship and a training and you find work. So to put up a tower crane, you first have to have a geological survey done, which they come in and take a core sample of the earth to see how sturdy it is and what's underneath. Then once that's done, they do what's called pile driving, is they drive a big pile into the ground, a big steel rod that's 30 feet or so. They drive a bunch of those down, sometimes all the way into the bedrock. And then they encase all of those piles, those steel rods, with rebar and create a massive, just a big block of concrete. And then after the concrete cures for about a couple weeks, they come out and do a sample of that to make sure that it's solidified correctly. And at that point, they can put up the tower crane. So there's a lot that goes into it, and it's pretty safe. Essentially, the bigger of a tower crane, which is, I'm talking about the capacity it could pick up, is based on all of those just getting bigger. So you want to lift more, the base of the crane's bigger, the steel is bigger, the counterweights on the back are bigger, or there's more of them, and each job is different on the size of crane they'll need. So they essentially come out and when they're trying to pick a crane, they'll figure out what is the heaviest object on the job site that's going to need to be moved. So here it was the center steel beams. So they need to make sure they can get a crane that can pick up that much weight at that distance. And then that's when they decide, well, we need this one or this one. And the functions are pretty basic. You got two joysticks that the right one controls the hoist, the up and down, that's back and forth. And of course there's a bunch of different speeds and modes within that. And then the left one controls the swing, and then the trolley in and out. And so that's on your left hand. And if the crane happened to be on tracks, because you can mount tower cranes on train tracks, it's really rare, but then the right joystick would control that function and you'd go back and forth on the rails. They did it when they did the Apple building down in California. The big circular one, they put a bunch of tower cranes on rails and they'd go around the whole building. So, I mean, the length of the jib here is 229 feet. So if you're all the way out and then down, so it just depends on how high you are, you could be an easy 300–400 feet away from the load, having to use your eyes. But that comes to the other part of it, is the signalmen and riggers on the ground are really important individuals and need to be trained well, because they're your eyes on the ground. They're always on the radio talking to you, giving you signals, and so you need somebody down there that you can trust. There's safety latches on the hooks, so you can't open the hook without two hands. So if those hooks were open, I could hook something onto one of those from 400 feet away. Yeah. Well, what I will do though, on lunch break sometimes, I'll take the hook and I'll knock guys' drinks over. So, but yeah, I've been doing it for 18 years, and so I mean it's like second nature to me now, and so it's become like kind of more of an extension of your body. You just become so comfortable with it that you don't really think about it anymore. There's a few things. Definitely the views. I've worked all over the western United States, and it's, you know, like this, seeing the whole valley here, working right next to the Bay Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge and stuff like that. It's pretty fun. But being able to turn around a couple years later and see that you've built that building, and like I still visit, it's nice to be part of that. It's beautiful out here. And I was born and raised in Bend, so it reminds me a lot of Bend, except like way back in the 80s of Bend. But it has a nice small town feel, good people here, all friendly, clean air, a lot of outdoorsy stuff to do. So I got the offer to come out here and I was like, heck yeah.